All right. How strong is the Avatar compared to other benders of the, same universe, right? So, for instance, let's take Aang. When Aang was fighting Azula, for instance, if he were to use just his bending powers, no Avatar state, right? And fought against Azula, it seems like Azula can still beat him.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a very interesting thing when you're talking about the Avatar versus just a skilled bender, because there are so many instances where the Avatar is like bested or even like or at least equal to just somebody who's really good at their own one bending. So what does that say about the Avatar as far as like how strong is the Avatar?
Yeah, so I think
Really?
my personal theory is that the Avatar is sort of like a normal human being, but like, or a normal bender, right? So for instance, if Rava didn't enter, it didn't reincarnate into that being who is now the Avatar, that person would just be a normal bender from whichever, cycle that the Avatar is on. So if Aang didn't become the Avatar, he would just be an airbender. And for airbending, obviously he would be a prodigy because he mastered airbending at such a young age.
Right.
But like, for instance, like Roku would just be a firebender. And he would probably be an average firebender because it took him his whole lifetime to master each element. Like he only mastered it by the time they got old. Yeah, they got old. Or older. He looked like he was in his 30s. I'm not sure. It was that one episode where he was showing Aang his history. But he seemed like a more average learning curve type of Avatar where it took him a good amount of time to learn each element. But he also did it the right way because like Aang had to like do it super fast.
Yeah.
And also Korra was faster for sure, but
Yeah, that's true. Korra was super fast as far as like the first three.
yeah, because she was in her teens still when she mastered the first three elements.
She was like pretty young.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a debate that Corden hasn't really mastered the element. She just knows how to do it, but that's a whole.
That's a whole nother video.
Yeah, I mean,
good
that
video.
could be relevant to this discussion. Is like, so okay, does the Avatar, like, are they able to just lean on the fact that they can use all of these different elements and just
Right.
give them an out as far as like not being able to develop one thing like super well?
Yeah, but the Avatar's mission is to master each element, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's my proposal, my theory is that everybody's just their own type of bender if they didn't have Rava with them, which makes them the Avatar. So like Aang would be a pretty incredibly strong bender because he mastered airbending so young.
Right. But then even still, like, with that being said, like, okay, he's a master airbender. Why did Azula give him so much trouble?
Because she's a master firebender.
Well, okay. So this is where I'll go in the argument where my theory would be that so the Avatar is probably strong, but strength, like again, like just like we know with Batman versus Superman, just because you're strong doesn't mean you can't be knocked out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I feel like when it comes to like Azula versus Aang, maybe Aang does have more power than Azula, but Azula just is a better in terms of strategist, knows how to,
Is more skilled.
skilled.
So we can agree that I don't know if anybody disagrees that the Avatar has more like strength, like brute power at his disposal
Or he,
than
her,
or her disposal, his or her disposal, its disposal than anybody like who's just a normal bender.
But like if you take Aang for instance, let's take Korra,
Okay.
right? If Korra only used firebending and she were to fight against Mako, I think Mako would win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because Mako can instantaneously do lightning since the first season of Korra.
that's true.
Korra can't do that at all.
That's true.
And lightning is, supposed to be one of the highest skills of firebending.
Yeah.
That's true. The Avatar did Korra ever do bloodbending? She did.
Korra? No.
Korra's never did bloodbending.
She never did. I'm
Not even Aang has done bloodbending.
No,
right.
No Avatar.
Aang never did bloodbending.
But there is like a hint of bloodbending, or at least like you can assume that in Avatar state they can at least reverse bloodbending. Because remember when Aang was fighting Yakone back in the first season, the flashbacks, Yakone was bloodbending him, and then he basically turned into Avatar state, and then there's no effect anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So he can at least reverse bloodbending.
Right.
We've never seen him use it, but I'm pretty sure he could, considering he's like in Avatar state and that powerful.
Which is a good thing to consider. Okay, so the fact that the avatars have never been able to use, at least as far as we know, like the avatars that we've seen have not been able to use like the specified, unique, super skilled versions of the different bending is an indication of their skill level. So like none of the avatars has ever done metal bending. None of the avatars have they?
No, not until Korra. Korra did.
Korra did metal. Oh,
she did.
Oh yeah, I remember she did learn metal bending.
She learned metal bending.
Yeah.
Okay. But then as far as like blood bending, nobody ever did that. Lightning, they didn't learn that.
I mean, Aang redirected lightning.
Yeah, but anybody can do that.
No.
I feel like I could redirect lightning.
Iroh was the originator of that skill,
which is cool, but
and he taught Zuko.
Yeah,
and Zuko taught Aang. Mm-hmm. So, but the only issue I really don't like was the fact that Mako could do it.
What, redirect lightning?
Yeah, because that one time a mecha tank shot him, and then he was being electrocuted by it. He grabbed onto it and then like redirected that lightning. So
I don't know. I can feel like now in that time period, everyone can probably.
Yeah, which I don't know. That's another like video, but like I didn't like that at all. Like lightning used to supposed to represent like highest order firebender, but
I mean he kind of is. You remember?
Okay, Mako is, but like remember how he was working at that like factory or whatever?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them doing it. So
it's
that's like,
fair enough.
If no names can do lightning bending, like what the heck, man?
Yeah, which is just like, it's interesting that.
So it's mysterious that Korra can't. It's like
that Korra can't. Yeah,
maybe she just never tried. I
mean,
that's the idea. It's like she just never felt
She's just
like
a lazy avatar.
Yeah.
No, but like, if at that point in the modern age of the Avatar world, like random nobodies can do lightning bending, and then to master firebending, which she technically has, right? Mm-hmm. And she can't do lightning bending. That's weird. Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah,
I still think that's another discussion for another video that I don't think she truly mastered, but whatever.
I don't know. I think that maybe that's just a storytelling flaw.
Maybe, but yeah. Again, I still think the Avatar without Avatar state is just a normal bender without like that can access all like bending.
Right. Right.
But their skill level or their like sort of abilities rely on their sort of own merits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot. There's something in my head. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Was it involving like Avatar state or anything like that?
I don't know if it was Avatar state, but there was something we were talking about fighting. I don't know.
Well, as far as like fighting, okay, that is something that I wanted to bring up. Fighting is its own specific skill, and the fact that like you have somebody like Ty Lee and
the Equalists.
The Equalists, that they're able to, fight.
They're able to subdue Korra and Mako.
Right. They're able to subdue like legitimate benders and even the Avatar just off of their skill alone, like as a fighter alone.
Yeah.
So why? Like, what is it about the Avatar that, like, why hasn't any Avatar been able to, that we've seen, like, been able to be at that level? Is it just because they would be too OP and that's like a storytelling?
It could be that
storytelling handicap is like, the best fighter can't be the Avatar otherwise then.
Well, Aang has an excuse. He's what, super young?
12.
Well, even then, I don't know. Aang also doesn't like to fight too, because his whole belief is against.
In my opinion, Korra doesn't. Korra has no excuse.
Korra, that's what I'm looking at. Korra, it's like,
my thing with Korra though is because Avatar is supposed to be that show where it's like and this is ironic because even though I just said Aang is not a fighter, he's spiritually attuned. The whole idea about Avatar is that if you're more spiritually attuned, you can unlock these things very well. That's why with Zahir, even though he never bended before, he was like this powerful airbender, despite he just being this martial artist or whatever.
Right. That's actually a great example because Zahir alone was already considered very dangerous.
Yeah.
And then when he got his bending abilities, he became even more dangerous. So I guess it's more like your fighting skill rather than, anything else. And then it seems like the Avatar's mission is just to master bending in general. Because, when Roku trained, it wasn't always fighting. It was like racing and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like learning how to glide well. And so I guess it wasn't necessarily all fighting. And to Korra's defense, I know I'm the one who bashed her, but to her defense, when she first met the Equalists, that was probably her first time seeing their fighting style.
Exactly.
So she didn't know how to like counter or how to
Not to mention her fighting style is first of all, she's been in what's it called, the South Pole. She's from South Pole. No?
Yeah.
She's been in South Pole, so their fighting style is probably a very and she's a very brash person. So her fighting style is just like throw. There's no like actual like adaptation or anything like that. So
also it's like whoever's training her, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't get much exposure to different types of fighting styles.
Exactly. Yeah. Versus Aang, where he had like different teachers, like you can almost say that Toph taught him some things, Katara, Zuko. So it's like he learned different fighting strategies.
Yeah, I mean, well, even with Aang, his thing was like he was just learning bending. Nobody taught him how to fight, like as a fighter. Like he never got that training. The only person we see get that training is Sokka, and yeah,
I think Sokka did well. I mean,
he did.
He almost like sliced Azula. So
yeah, exactly. Like he's the only one who like has he probably has the highest skill as a fighter.
I mean, Ty Lee and Suki.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean out of that
Avatar.
Team Avatar. Yeah,
okay.
like out of like him and Sokka and.
But I'd say
Katara and.
I'd say Katara like did learn a lot of fighting from Pakku. Like in the first season when they were.
Yeah, I guess, but that wasn't even for very long. That was like.
That's true.
And the thing is that it almost seems like when you're a bender, you rely on your bending. Right, and when you're the Avatar, you rely even more on your bending. Mm-hmm. So you don't necessarily have to put the work in to develop skills as a fighter. Whereas if you're a normal person, you want to be in this like world, you have to be a great fighter.
Right.
And then if you're a bender and you want to be in this world, you have to be like great. You have to be, good with your bending, but you also have to be a decent fighter.
I guess like a sort of example of having best of both is Azula, because she can fight.
Yeah.
And bend really well.
Right.
Because even during the eclipse, she could escape Aang's clutches. Well, of course, with the help of the Dai Li, but still, like she was extremely agile and extremely like good even without any bending. And same with Zuko with Blue Spirit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's true. Zuko and the Blue Spirit. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But that's why he was able to beat Aang so much. He's a good fighter, but Aang just like, peace. I don't know.
It's again, it goes back to his beliefs.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Belief.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think the Avatar doesn't have any like sort of special thing other than bending the 4 elements. I don't think he has a special advantage other than Avatar state.
Yeah.